Hey guys, Big J here. It is time for
Wiki Wednesday.
our Wiki Wednesday. It's basically draw something out of the bag, look it up on Wikipedia, read about it. The first one was Tim Burton, which was actually pretty cool. Learned a lot of stuff I didn't know about Tim Burton. And see what we got this time. So misses. Okay. Alright. Let's see what we got. Edgar Allan Poe. Nice. Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, so go. Alright, so Edgar Allan Poe was born on January 19th, 1809 to October 7th, 1849. Fairly young guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. When he passed away. Okay, so Edgar Allan Poe was an American writer, editor, and literary critic. Poe is best known for his poetry and short stories, particularly his tales of mystery and the macabre. He's widely regarded as a central figure of romanticism in the United States and of American literature as a whole. He is one of the country's earliest practitioners of the short story. He's generally considered the inventor of the detective fiction genre and is further credited with contributing the emerging genre of science fiction. He was the first well-known American writer to earn a living through writing alone, resulting in financial difficult life and career. Now, there are some writers out there that are very widely successful. Now, to me, some of the more successful writers honestly aren't even story writers. They're actually the financial guru writers, how to save money and all this and all that. Now, he was born in Boston, Mass, and he died in Baltimore. You know what I find funny about this?
Mm-hmm.
You sit there and think about it. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts,
Mm-hmm.
died in Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
right? Babe Ruth played for Baltimore Orioles, went to the Boston Red Sox in New York. It's kind of like, it's weird. His alma mater is University of Virginia, the United States Military Academy. His only spouse that is states here is Virginia Eliza Clem Poe. So even with the honor again, what the hell? Nah, it was kind of a busy day at work today. Early life, born in Boston in 1809. He's the second child of an actress and an actor. The actress's name was Elizabeth Arnold Hopkins Poe, and the actor was David Poe Jr. He also had an elder brother named William Henry Leonard Poe, and a younger sister. Her name was Rosalie Poe. Their grandfather, David Poe Sr., had immigrated from County Cavan, Ireland, around 1750. Edgar may have been named after a character in William Shakespeare's King Lear, which, the couple were performing in 1809. I can see that. His father abandoned him in 1810. His mother died a year later from consumption of pulmonary tuberculosis. Poe was taken into the home of John Allen, a successful merchant in Richmond, Virginia, who dealt in a variety of goods, including tobacco, cloth, wheat, tombstones, and slaves. So that means the dude has some money, if you think about it. Allen served as a foster family and gave him the name Edgar Allan Poe, though they never formally adopted him. He was alternately spoiled and aggressively disciplined by John Allen, and he was baptized in the Episcopal Church in 1812. Now, let's see. Let's see. Poe's family, they moved to, let's see, where is it? Sailed to Britain in 1815. Poe attended the grammar school for a short period in Irvine, Scotland, where John Allen was born, before rejoining the family in London in 1816 There he studied at a boarding school in Chelsea until the summer of 1817. He was subsequently entered at the Reverend John Bransby's Manor House School at Stoke Newington, then a suburb 4 miles north of London. They moved back to Richmond in 1820. In 1824, he served as a lieutenant of the Richmond Youth Honor Guard as Richmond celebrated the visit of the Marquis de Lafayette. In March of 1825, John Allen's uncle and business benefactor William died, who was said to be one of the wealthiest men in Richmond at the time, leaving Allen several acres of real estate. The inheritance was estimated at $750,000 at the time. As of 2018, that's worth $17 million. That's a butt-ton of money. By summer of 1825, Allen celebrated his expensive wealth by purchasing his 2-story brick home named Moldavia. Every time I think of Moldavia, I think of Roseanne. He had a military career. Not much really with it. Let's see, his publishing career. Really started after his brother's death, and publishers often refused to pay their writers or paid them much later than they promised, and Poe repeatedly resorted to humiliating pleas for money and other assistance. After his early attempts at poetry, Poe turned his attention to prose. He placed a few stories with a Philadelphia publication and began work on his only drama, Polynesian. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Baltimore Saturday Visitor awarded him a prize in October 1833 for a short story, MS Found in a Bottle. The story brought him to the attention of John P. Kennedy, a Baltimorean of considerable means. He was a novelist, lawyer, and a Whig politician who served as United States Secretary of the Navy from July 26, 1852 to 53. So, let's see. He helped Poe place some of his stories and introduced them to Thomas W. White, editor of the Southern Literary Messenger in Richmond. Poe became assistant editor of the periodical in August of 1835. But White discharged him within a few weeks for being drunk on the job. Poe returned to Baltimore, where he obtained his license to marry his cousin Virginia in September 22, 1835. Though it is unknown if they were married at the time, he was 26 and she was 13. Wikipedia shows a picture of Virginia Clem. Also shows a cottage in Fordham down in the Bronx where Poe spent his last years. I do believe, that's part of the museum district for Edgar Allan Poe. Now, let's see. Edgar Allan Poe is buried in Westminster Hall in Baltimore, Maryland. That is true. Lat is 39.29027. Long is 76.62333. The circumstances of the cause of his death remain uncertain. On October 3rd of 1849, Poe was found delirious on the streets of Baltimore in great distress and in need of immediate assistance. According to Joseph W. Walker, who found him, he was taken to the Washington Medical College, where he died Sunday, October 7th, so a few days later. At 5 in the morning, he was not coherent long enough to explain how he came to be in this dire condition. Ollie was wearing clothes that were not his own. He said to have repeatedly called out the name Reynolds. On the night before his death, though it is unclear to whom he was referring, some Sources say that Poe's final words were, "Lord help my poor soul." All medical records have been lost, including his death certificate. Wow. Newspapers at the time reported Poe's death as a congestion of the brain or cerebral inflammation. That sounds like a hemorrhage, almost. Common euphemisms for death from distributable causes such as alcoholism. Could definitely be. The actual cause of death remains a mystery. Speculations has included delirium tremens, heart disease, epilepsy, syphilis, meningeal inflammation, cholera, and rabies. One theory, dated from 1872, suggests that cooping was the cause of Poe's death, a form of electoral fraud in which citizens are forced to vote for particular candidates, sometimes leading to violence and even murder. There's Griswold's memoirs. It's memoirs about him. Literary style and themes, genres, military theory, legacy. He has a huge legacy. A lot of stuff is after him. Let's see, the Edgar Allan Poe National Historic Site in Philadelphia is one of several preserved former residents of Poe. There's the Raven Society. Is an honor society at the University of Virginia, founded in 1904 by university student William Macaulay James, and named in honor of the famous poem by Edgar Allan Poe. As a matter of fact, the Wrestler Raven quoted Edgar Allan Poe a shit ton. If you were into ECW and WCW and some WWE, but mainly ECW and WCW. The earliest surviving home in which Poe lived is in Baltimore, which I showed Mrs. When we went and visited Baltimore, is the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum. Poe is believed to have lived in that home at the age of 23 when he first lived with Maria Clem in Virginia. We drove by. Well, it was closed. It was like bad weather or something like that.
It was, it was spring, but it was up that way, and it was.
Let's see. There's
purring and drilling.
Photographs. There's a bottle of cognac and 3 roses were left to have Poe's original grave marker for decades. Every January 19th by an unknown visitor, affectionately referred to as the Poe Toaster. Sam Porpora was a historian in the Westminster Church in Baltimore, where Poe is buried, and he claimed in August 15, 2017 that he had started the tradition in 1949. Porpora said that the tradition began in order to raise money and enhance the profile of the church. His story has not yet been confirmed, and some details which he gave to the press are factually inaccurate. The Poe Toaster's last appearance was on January 19, 2009, the day of Poe's bicentennial. And then it gives like a bunch of his tales. Black Cat, that's where our cat we had a while ago, his name was Poe. He was all black cat, and he had like little white tufts right here on his chest.
Speaking of, look at this one.
Cat's something special. He's just lying around. Then you have the poetry. You have Annabelle Lee, The Bells, The City of the Sea, Conqueror, The Dream Within a Dream, El Dorado, The Raven, Tamerlane, and so yeah, it's pretty much Edgar Allan Poe. There's more to it, but if you want to check it out, go to Wikipedia, check out Edgar Allan Poe. Pretty decent read. So next week we'll do another one. Tomorrow is going to be, what is tomorrow? Thursday?
Tomorrow's Thursday, Throwback Thursday.
Be Throwback Thursday. May do cooking video, may do some exercising in the morning, may just do a Throwback Thursday story. I'm not quite sure yet. Then we got Freaky Friday, which Mrs. I think is more excited about than anybody else. And then we have Wake Up Saturday, And then we have like a Saturday, we have family day, and then Sunday is chillax day.
Well, this
So-
whole weekend maybe chillax weekend.
Yeah, because
Oh, I gotta go Walmart.
my favorite store's Kroger, so
I still gotta go to Walmart.
I know.
Okay.
But yeah, so leave in the description of something you'd like for us to check out. The description, comments. Every time. Leave something in the comments you'd like for us to check out. Tomorrow morning we'll do the Dominic Haircut video. So check that out. And
I
yeah,
gotta start researching. I haven't.
don't
done no
forget
research.
to like, subscribe, share, favorite. Hit the bell for notifications. Love each other. Eat healthy. Live healthy. Smile and laugh. It's been fun. Peace.